Hello, my name is Eric Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today's topic is what is ignorance? What is illusion? Ignorance is fundamentally a not knowing. It is a lack or absence of knowing. It's not a thing in and of itself, as no lack can be treated as something that exists. And so this not knowing is the tool that Brahma used to kind of create points of view and the world. Now, ignorance, and in Sanskrit it's known as Avidya, is not a bad thing, because ignorance is needed in order to be surprised. I mean, if somebody planned a surprise party and you knew what was going to happen, you kind of knew the people were already in the room, you knew what was going to happen. When the lights come on, they shout surprise. It's not a surprise because you knew already. You know, the not knowing lends itself to being surprised. Not knowing also lends itself for awe, wonder to happen. The mysteries are wondrous because they're mysteries. We don't know. Said another way, if a magician was doing a sleight of hand trick and you did not know how he did it, there may be wonder, there may be awe. But if you knew how the trick was done, there won't be wonder or awe. You may still enjoy the trick. You may appreciate the how well he did it, technically. You can still enjoy the show, but it does not instill wonder and awe because you know how it was done. And so ignorance, not knowing, has its place in terms of it gives more enjoyment, joy. It's another way to experience the world. And so don't ever think that all ignorance is bad, and we must get rid of all ignorance in all shades and forms. That's not the point. It's the specific ignorance that causes suffering that we're trying to get rid of, usually. Now, Brahma used ignorance like a tool, not knowing, in creating points of view. Kind of like how one eye, the right eye, will see the nose on the left eye will see the nose on the right. Each eye can only see what it sees. There's a demarcation of perception and understanding. And so if you imagined each eye was sentient, it would only know what it knows. It would not know what the other sees, fundamentally. It couldn't know what the other sees. There's this not knowing. And each maintains its place by having this not knowing. And so ignorance is the tool, the chosen tool. It's not like ignorance was forced upon us or anything like that. We are Brahma and we choose to not know. So that way we can experience each point of view. Now, in a dream, it all arises in one consciousness, and there's no one else in the dream, so it's all you. And so you may believe you're a specific dream character, but there are other characters in the dream, but they're all you. They all have their own point of view, but they're all you. You just don't realize this. There's this demarcation of not knowing. Each character can only know what it knows. And I had mentioned that I'd had a dream once in the past where there was a switching from one character to another, and it was kind of a direct experience of the dream where no matter which character I was, I did not know what the other knew. At no point did you just know it all and saw both points of view. And so there's this not knowing. This is how you keep the integrity of the characters. Because fundamentally, you cannot be you as you are if you knew what I knew or you knew what somebody else knew. If you suddenly, there was no separation, no not knowing, and you knew everything that someone else knew, you would fundamentally be other than what you are. Because the understanding, the experiences, the point of view come from not knowing. Now, so ignorance, to sum up, is not knowing. Chosen tool for creating the world. Now, what is illusion? Illusion, there's different levels of illusion, but often the illusions of the mind are what we're trying to overcome. The world is often called illusion, and so they say the world is Maya, which is the Sanskrit term for illusion. And it's kind of like a dream in that, you could say a dream is an illusion, but while you're experiencing the world, it's not unreal. The world exists. It's not like it doesn't exist. The world exists. The dream exists. If there was a total absence of existence, it would be more like deep dreamless sleep, and there wouldn't be a dream world in the first place. But the dream world exists. Hence, you have a dream. And ignorance is used to create points of view and characters and populate the world of the dream. Now, it is all still you. Regardless of the characters, what's going on, it's still all you. So if you dream that you're being chased down an alley by somebody, you are chasing yourself. There's no one else there. Now, likewise, the world is called Maya. And that's because we fixate on form and name and objects. And we forget that's all Brahma. We superimpose. This is a chair. This is a human body. That's grass. That's a fence. We fixate on all of this. And in our mind, we think they are separate individual objects. The chair is not the fence. They are two separate objects. The chair is separate and different than the body, but it's all Brahma. And that's what Maya is. Maya is the world of misconception, of superimposition, of misunderstanding. See, ignorance and illusion go together. It's kind of like the old snake and rope analogy. There'll be a piece of rope on the ground, and it's not seen, but it's glanced. And the assumption, the misunderstanding, is that it's a snake. And so the illusion of a snake comes into being. And as you're looking at it, what you're seeing, what you're taking it for is a snake. And so first there's the ignorance. You just simply don't know what it is. But then there's the superimposition of what you think it is when it's not that. You superimpose a snake on top of a piece of rope. And so ignorance and illusion go together. For the illusion would not arise if there was not ignorance. So the two go together. An illusion is not a bad thing either. Because again, a magician's sleight of hand show is a great thing. But what are you seeing other than illusions? Movies are our favorite pastime. Theater plays as well. But what you see on the screen or on the stage isn't actually happening. So if you see someone get killed, they aren't actually killed. It's all illusion. It's all contrived. It's a story. It's a story that was written and being executed. And you get caught up. It's a great thing. Illusions are not a bad thing. So what we do in spirituality in general, but in particularly yoga and Advaita and things like that, is we're trying to dispel ignorance and illusion that is creating suffering, that is creating discontent, dissatisfaction, suffering, misery, agony, all that. That is the ignorance and illusion we're trying to get rid of. It's not all illusions must be shattered, all ignorance must be dispelled. Because it really just doesn't have to be. I mean, you lose a lot of great things if you try to dispel all illusion and ignorance. You lose wonder, awe, surprise. You lose movies, games of all sorts. Because what is a game other than a imaginary, fictitious setup parameter of rules, and we're trying to do things through it. Everything, a lot of things are run on illusion. So illusions aren't bad. Ignorance isn't bad. We're just trying to dispel that which causes suffering to arise. And I think that's all I'm going to cover for today. Anyways, but if you have any questions, comments, please post below. I invite you to subscribe so you're notified of future videos. But also, please feel free to share the video with others that you think might be interested in hearing it. So, but until next time, thank you much.